Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sudhar Kodi, trainer for today's session. Today we are going to understand how to analyze data from a questionnaire using Excel. Also, we are going to learn some basic tools like mean, standard deviation, Garrett ranking, correlation, and chi-square test using Excel. Let me start with the concept of research. Research is a systematic method of collecting, organizing, analyzing data to find a solution to a problem. If we talk about process of research, it starts with formulating research problem, followed by extensive literature review, then developing the hypothesis. Hypothesis is nothing but a tentative statement which talks about the problem, okay, that may be accepted or rejected based upon the survey. Next, followed by preparation of research design, then sample design. The next step is collection of data, analysis of data, hypothesis testing, interpretation of data, and preparation of report. So these are the 10 basic steps of research process. Now, today we are going to learn how we are going to analyze the data using Excel, right? So, for analyzing the data, the first step is to collect the data, right? So, data can be collected in many methods, but most prominent method of collecting the data is through questionnaire. So in earlier days, the hard copy of a questionnaire will be prepared and it will be circulated and the data will be collected. But now it is an easier way where we prepare the questionnaire in a Google form, right? And we can just send the link in a social media through or in a WhatsApp or through a mail and we can easily collect the data. So once you collect the data, you can start analyzing the data. So while you collect the data, one thing you have to consider is the data should be accurate and it should be complete. So some of the respondent may not completely fill the questionnaire. Some of one or two questions may be omitted, or they might have given 2-3 options for a single question. So you have to properly edit the data. So once the data is collected, you have to edit it. You have to code the data in such a way that we can easily analyze the data. And in some cases, we can classify the data in such a way that analyzing factor may be helpful for us. So once the data is collected, it has to be edited, coded, and classified. Right? First, I will let you know how you can upload the data in a Google form. So, upload your questionnaire in a Google form and how you can share the link and how you can extract that Google form in the form of Excel sheets. So, once the Excel sheet is ready with you, you can start your analysis part. Let me show you how you can create a Google form. Let me share my screen. So this is my mail ID. So first of all, I have to go to forms, which you can see on the right side where you can see a 9 dots. If you click there, you can go to forms. And from forms, you have to select the first one called as blank. Okay. But here, for your reference, I have already created a form. You can see here. This is the form where I have made a questionnaire. The questionnaire is regarding customer perception towards Samsung Galaxy phone. and the respondents are from Bangalore city, right? So you have to upload your questionnaire in the Google form, right? The first question is the name of the respondent. It's an optional, so it is, you need not, it's not a compulsory thing. Followed by the second question talks about gender, right? You can see here on the right side, you can add question, right? Where you can type the question here, say gender, and you can give the option here, say male. When you click add option, you can get a add option where you can type female and you can move to the next question, right? So like this, you have to enter all the questions which you have framed for your research purpose to collect from the respondent. So here you can see my simple question. It starts with a name, 1 minute, which I have already created. I will just delete it. Okay. So you can see here, my question starts with name, gender, profession, gross income of the respondent, age, and here comes the features which I want to check what is their perception regarding the mobile phone. Okay, so I have given the description regarding their perception with respect to the brand, with respect to the design, with respect to internet access, price of the mobile, what is the screen size, what is the music player and the format which is there in the mobile, whether the mobile is user friendly, simple to use. I have spoke about the brand, battery life, and business supports. These are the some features which I have taken here to make you understand how you can analyze these features using the basic concepts of statistical tools. So this is the questionnaire about perception regarding Samsung Galaxy phone, where I have collected the data, basic demographic data, followed by features of that mobile and what are the perception of the respondent with respect to the features, right? So once you have uploaded your questionnaire in the Google form, and you have to just click a send, and you can see here a button where you can send this through a mail, or you can just click here where you will get a link of your Google form. You can cut this link or copy this link and paste it in the WhatsApp group or any of the group where the respondent can just click and fill this Google form, right? Now, once you have circulated the link, you may get the response from your respondent, right? So in this case, you have to choose the respondent who has already used the Samsung Galaxy mobile. Okay, so otherwise the purpose will not be served. So whenever you are choosing your respondent, you have to be very much clear that to whom you are going to circulate your link, right? So here you can see that I have collected from 17 respondents. Okay, since 1 minute, this I will delete it. Okay, yeah. Now I will go to the response. See, I have got 17 response because I have already circulated this questionnaire. So I have got 17 response. You can see here that is 17 response, right? And I have just created a dummy name. And you can see that automatically the Google form will give you the percentage of the 17 respondents. You can see that for all my questions, the percentage analysis will be done by the Google form, right? But we are going to learn about other concepts which will be helpful to interpret your results, right? See here, out of 17 respondents, we got to know that 52.9 percentage of respondents are male and 47.1 percentage respondents are female, right? So this is how a Google form is created, and this is how you can check how many respondents have responded to your Google form, right? Now, to interpret the data, it should be in the form of Excel, right? So you can see here, there is a sheet called as in a green color in the right side. We can export this in the form of Excel sheet. So if you click here, all your data will be in the form of Excel sheet. You can see here, see the Excel sheet which is created by the 17 respondent. Okay. So it starts from 2 and ends at 18. Since there are 17 respondents, the Excel sheet is automatically created from the response rate. Okay. Now you can copy this and paste it in a Excel sheet so that you can utilize it for interpretation. So how much ever response you required, so you have to collect all the response, and once it is done, you can extract this Excel sheet and you can just copy this and paste it in a new Excel sheet. Okay. Now you can see the Excel sheet which has been extracted from the Google form. So you can see here the data which we have given: name, gender, profession, gross income, age, brand specification, design, internet access, price, screen size. So all the data which the respondent has filled in the Google form has been extracted in the form of Excel sheet. Now you can start analyzing the data using Excel. So as I have told, we have 17 respondents to our questionnaire, right? Now to analyze the data should be in the form of numbers, that is numerical form, that is it should be in the form of quantitative data. So first thing, we have to convert all this qualitative data into quantitative form so that we can easily analyze the data. Now if you take the first question where we have asked about the gender. So you have two options, male and female. Let us consider male as 1 and female as 2, right? So you have to convert all the male as number 1 and female as number 2. So for that, you can select the entire column, okay? And then you can go for Control F, where you can go for find, put female, type female, okay, and find all, replace with 2, replace all. So automatically all the word which is given as female will be replaced by 2, okay. Similarly, type male, and replace it by 1. Replace all. So in your data, you can see here that gender, it has been converted into numeric data. So 1 represents male and 2 represents female. Okay. Like that, you have to convert the entire sheet into numerical data, right? One more, I can do it. So what you have to do, for example, age. I have told age has 4 options. The first option is 18 to 25. You can take it as 1. 25 to 32. You can take it as 2. 32 to 39, 3. And above 39 as 4. So what you have to do, again, select Control F. With the first one, 18 to 25, replace it by 1, replace all. Okay. Next, you have to take 25 to 32, replace it by 2, replace all. Okay. Next, you have 32 to 39, replace it by 3, replace all. Okay. And last one, you have above 39. Okay. Replace it by 4, replace all. Okay. So now you can see here all your age data has been converted into numerical data. So like that, you have to convert the entire Excel sheet in the form of numerical data to analyze the data. Okay. Now the first since we have so much features which talks about the mobile right from the brand, designs, and all have 5-point rating scale together into a numeric data, right? So here the data which is of value strongly disagree will have zero point 0.1, data disagree will be considered as 2, neutral will be 3, agree will be 4, and strongly agree will be 5. Okay. Now same way you select it, and what you have to do, Control F, take the first one. The first one, what we spoke is about strongly disagree. Okay. Replace it by 1. Replace all. Okay. Done. Next one is disagree. All disagree, you have to replace it by 2. Replace all. Okay. Next one is neutral. Right? Replace it by 3. Replace all. Okay. Next one, we can replace strongly agree. Agree by 5. Replace all. Okay, and you have agree left, which we told it is 4. Replace all. So now after doing find and replace, you can see that your Excel sheets look like this, where all the data are converted into numeric form, right? Now the Excel sheet is ready for analyzing of data. Now, if you take demographic details like gender, education qualification, or salary, the best tool which you can use is percentage. So now how can you do that? Now if you take gender, so you first thing you have to find how many are male and how many are female from your respondent. Now here there are 17 respondents. Easily you can just count how many are male and how many are female. But if there are more than 500 respondents, if there are more than 1,000 respondents, you cannot just count it. So you have to apply the formula to count your respondent. So how can you do that? So if you take gender, you have two options, male and female. Okay. Now to count how many male and how many female are there, you have to go to a formula bar. That is, you can see here fx, near that is your formula bar. Always your formula starts with equal to. So equal to count if is the function to check how much number of variable is there in a particular data. So here we are going to check how much number of respondent are male and how many are female. Okay, so count if is the function and you have to give the range from where you are going to check it. So you are going to give the range, that is from gender. Select the range. In that, what you have told, male is 1. Okay, so comma 1, close the bracket, press enter. So you will get the result as 9. So out of 17 respondent, 9 are male. Okay, similarly we can do for female. Okay, go to the formula bar, equal to, what is the formula? count if, open the bracket, select the data. Okay, this is your data from where you want to select only the female. So female we have given as 2, close the bracket, enter. Right? So out of 17 respondent, you have 9 male and 8 female. Okay. So like using this countif function, you can get the value count of each data inside the particular feature. Okay, now similarly you can do for all the demographic details and you can find the count. See how many respondent have are of cadre student, how many respondent are of cadre business. So what is the formula which you are going to use? That is equal to count if, select the cell. Okay, and you have to put there as 1 represents student. So if you do like this, business students, the data will not work. So you have to convert that into numeric data, then only you can apply the formula, right? So you can do the counting. So here we can do for age. Since our data is converted into numeric data for age, you can use that function for age. So what you have to do is say 1 represents the age group, which is 18 to 25. So we have to find how many respondents are from 18 to 25. So equal to countif, open the bracket, select the cell, comma 1, enter. So only 4 respondents are from age group 18 to 25, right? So this way you can find the respondent cadre. Okay, we can find the count of the respondent using the function countif, right? Now, once you got a count, you can just find the percentage. So how many percentage were the male, how many percentage were the female? So what is the formula for percentage? It's nothing but equal to male, count of male into 100 divided by what is the total respondent? 17. If you press enter, you will get the answer. Similarly, you can find the percentage equal to count of female into 100 divided by total respondent 70, enter. So you can find the percentage for all the demographic factors after finding the count. Okay, so here you feel like it is very easy since you have only 17 respondents, but in reality when you collect from more than 500 to 600 respondents, this doing in Excel will be very easy, right? So this is how you make a count and how you do a percentage analysis, right? Now moving to the next concept called as mean. Okay, so you all might be knowing the formula of mean when frequency is given, right? The formula for mean when frequency is given is summation of x into f divided by summation of f, right? So first we should know what is x. The mean concept will come for the 5-point scalings which we have given for different features of the mobile phone. Okay, so what rating which we have given, that will be considered as x, say x. Okay, so we have given the rating 1 2 3 4 5, right? These are the 5 scale rating which we have given. Let me center it, right? Next is the frequency. Frequency refers to, let us do for the first, I'm doing for the first feature called as brand specification. I'm finding the mean for brand specification. So I'll write it here. This data is for brand specification where I have the option 1 to 5, right? And how many of the respondent have told 1, how many have respondent have told 2, and how many of respondent have told 3. That you can have a count. So that you might have got it by using the first formula called as countif, right? So you have to apply this countif for all the data which you have in numeric form, and from that you can get the data how many have told 1, okay, that is strongly disagree, how many have told 2, that is disagree, and how many have told 3, neutral, how many have told 4, agree, and how many have told 5, strongly agree, right? So I am not doing the count function because I have told already how you can do. But just for a guess, I will just write, suppose 5 respondents have told 1, okay, 2 respondents have told 2, again 2 respondents have told 3, 5 respondents have told 4, and say 3 respondents have told 5. Okay, so this is your frequency box. So total there are 17 respondent. So this is your frequency. So you have X always as the data which you have given 1 to 5, and frequency is the response given by the respondent, right? Now you are going to apply the formula sigma fx divided by n. So first thing you should know what is fx. So f into x. So it's nothing but you have to multiply. So keep your cursor here, go to formula bar, equal to, select the cell, into, select the next cell where F is there, press enter, you will get the answer. Once you have applied this formula, you can just drag it, you will get the answer for the entire row. Now you want summation of fx. So what you have to do? Just drag it, go for the summation formula which you can see in the right side up. Okay, click that, you will get the summation. This is summation of fx. Now you want summation of f. Okay, go to the summation symbol, you will get the summation of f. Now apply the formula mean equal to, go to formula bar, equal to summation of fx, click that cell, divided by summation of f. Okay, press enter. This is your mean value. Okay, so the mean for the first way feature, that is brand specification, you are getting a mean of 2.9. That is more or less nearing to 3. That is, you can just conclude that most of the respondents have a 3 represents what? Neutral. So most of the respondent has a neutral perception about the brand specification. Okay, suppose your value is coming as 4, because this is a tentative value which I have filled. Suppose your mean is coming as 4 or 4.1. That means most of the respondent are strongly agreeing for the brand specification feature, right? So based upon the mean, you can justify what is the perception of the respondent, right? Now once you have got the mean of first feature, right, you can note down in a separate Excel sheet, right, or in a notebook, and using the same formula which you have created, you can go for the next respondent. So no need to do once again and again. Now if you go for the next, say design. So now you are going to talk about the design, right? Next feature, say design. So in this, just you want to change what the respondent spoke about design. Say you are getting 3, 2, 5, 5, and 2. Okay. Automatically in the same table, your answer changes. So you got the mean for design. Okay, the mean is 3.05. Similarly, you can, in the same table, you can just fill the data of internet access, you can fill the data of price, screen size, media entertainment, user friendly, okay, and you can find the mean of all the features related to the mobile. So now you may get the mean value of all the 11 features which we have asked in the question, right from brand specification to design, internet access, price. Okay, so you will get a mean of all the 11 features. Now, using this mean of all the 11 features, you can rank it. That is called as Garrett ranking. So which feature got a maximum rank, so sorry, maximum mean, that is considered as a first rank. For example, user friendly, you are getting a mean of say 4.6. So user friendly is the most opted feature by most of the respondent and it will be considered as a first rank. Okay, suppose you say media player gets the mean of say 2.1 and that is the least mean value. That means that that is the last preference which the respondent has given when they talk about the features of the mobile. So by this, all these 11 features can be ranked based upon their mean, right? So first you have to calculate the mean using the formula. Once you have created, in the same thing you can use it and you can calculate the mean and you can rank it, right? Next is your standard deviation, right? So you can do standard deviation for the given data. Now, how to do standard deviation? So you have a formula for standard deviation, right? Square root of summation of f into x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. If you remember, x bar is the mean. Okay, so you know the mean of all the data, right? As you have calculated. So now in the screen you can see the mean of design, right? Now we will make the, we can go for standard deviation of the feature design. Okay, so for standard deviation, you should first find x minus x bar, that is x minus your mean. Next, what you have to do, x minus mean square. Okay, next you have to do f into x minus mean square, and you have to do the summation and you have to divide it by n. N is nothing but your frequency summation. Okay, so x minus mean. So first apply the formula here, equal to, what is your x? This is your x. Select that, minus, what is your mean? Here it's your mean. Select this, press enter. Okay, now drag it, you will get all the values, right? You have to square it. Next one is x minus mean square. 1 minute, there's a spelling mistake. Yeah. So you have to square it. All the things you can do in a single cell also, but to make you understand, I'm doing it. So you have to do this multiplied by the same value, the center. Okay, drag it. Then you have to multiply with frequency equal to, select this into frequency, enter, drag it. This is your value. Put the summation. Now you have to divide it by n and you have to square root it, right? So what you have to do, equal to summation of f into x minus x bar the whole square divided by capital N, is which is nothing but summation of f. Enter. So this is 11.51 and your standard deviation formula is root over summation of f into x minus x bar the whole square by n. So you have to find the root. Okay, so to find the square root, say equal to SQRT square root of the number, this, close it, enter. So this is your value for standard deviation, right? So the standard deviation for the feature design is 3.39. Okay, when your deviation is more, you can conclude that the perception of the respondent with respect to that features differs a lot. That means some respondents are strongly agreeing and some respondents are strongly disagreeing. Okay, the scatter of the respondent is more if your standard deviation is more. Suppose your standard deviation value you're getting as 1.1, right? That means all the respondents' perception with respect to that features are more or less same. That is, the deviation from the mean is very, very less. Okay, so higher the standard deviation, higher will be the spread. Okay, so lesser the standard deviation shows that most of the respondents view with respect to the feature is same. So this is what you can conclude from the standard deviation, right? So you can find the standard deviation of all the features and based upon that you can conclude which features have most spread or different perception by the respondent. Okay, so this is all about standard deviation. The next thing is called which the tool which I want you all to learn is correlation. Right? So you have learned about correlation. So the correlation is to find a relationship between two or more variables. Okay, so whether the two variables are highly correlated or not, or whether there is any relation between the two variables. So when you talk about correlation, we always the value of correlation lies between plus or minus 1. So if your value of correlation is nearing to 1, then it is considered as a positive correlation. That means if there are two variables x and y, if x increases, the y also will increase. So that is called as positive correlation. If your answer is equal to minus 1 or nearing to minus 1, then it is called as negative correlation. That means if x increases, the y decreases in the same speed. Okay, and if the value is equal to 0, that means there is no relationship between the two variables, right? So correlation mainly helps to find the relationship between the two variables. Now in this given data, let us take two variables and find the correlation. For example, you can see, let us select whether there is any relationship between price and say battery life. So we will check whether there is any relationship between the price and battery life using correlation. So what you have to do, there's a formula equal to CORREL, correlation between the two variables. You have to select two variables. So what we have planned is price, okay, comma, the other variable is battery life, okay, close the bracket, press enter. So this is the value of correlation. So just in one click you can get the correlation between the price and the battery life. Okay, now the answer what you got is 0.087. Okay, so what is the perception based on this answer? So the answer is more or less equal to 0. That means there is no relationship between the price and battery life. Okay, so that is your conclusion. So this is only based on the data of 17 respondents. Okay, it's a dummy data which is created, but in reality there may be a different answer. Okay, but as per this data we are getting answer that there is no relationship between the price and the battery life. Like that you can take any two features which can be related and you can find the correlation easily by just a single click, right? So this is all about correlation, right? The next concept which I want to teach you is chi-square, right? So you might have learned chi-square test. So again, chi-square test is to find whether there is any significant relationship between the two variables. Okay, so usually chi-square test is done by taking a demographic factor with a feature with one of the variable, right? To find chi-square table, first you should know how to find a cross table, right? And this cross table you can find you by creating a pivot table. So first I will let you know how to find a pivot table. Here we will do a chi-square test between age and user friendly. Okay, so whether there is any relationship between the age and the perception towards feature called as user friendly. Okay, so we have to create an hypothesis H naught to justify whether there is any relation. So always your null hypothesis will be there is no relation between age and say user friendly feature. Okay. Usually, when you take a relation between two variables, say a demographic variable and one of the variable from your main data, the variable which you select should be having a highest mean. That variable will give you the best result. Suppose your mean value is very less. So better not to select that variable to compare the data. So when you select the variable, you have to see the mean value of that variable, and the mean value should be more than 3. Only that variable can give you the better result. But if not also, you can take any two variables and start your analysis for chi-square test. So here we have taken H naught, that there is no relationship between age and user friendly feature, and your alternate hypothesis is there is relationship between the age and user friendly. So is relation will be your alternate hypothesis. And as I have told you, to create the chi-square table, you should first know how to create your cross table. So to create your cross table, you have to create a pivoted table, right? To create a pivoted table, you have to go to insert, go to pivot table. You will get a box where you have to give the range. So here you're going to select, say you can select the complete, you know, all the data of your Excel sheet. You can select and say okay. So once you have selected your entire file, all that data will be shown in the pivoted table field. You can see here, right? Now you have to make a cross table between age and user friendly, right? Now you have the complete data in pivoted table. You can do any sort of cross table using this. You can do gender in row, and you can do brand specification in column. Okay, 1 minute, we'll go down to the pivoted table. So your pivoted table will look like this. If you click this, you will get the specification, and right. But what we want here, we are going to make a cross table between age and user friendly, right? So we will remove this, put age in rows, and we want user friendly data, put it in column. Okay. Now you have to, so you have just a row label and the column label. Now you want to get the data inside that. For that, you take the age and put in the summation value. Okay. Summation value will give you the summation of age, but you don't want that. You want only the counts. So you have to go to click here at the right, go to value field setting, go to count, press OK. Right? Now you can see you got your pivoted table. Right? So you had 17 respondent. Of that, age wise also you got, and you got user friendly wise also. So grand total is 17, right? So the age of group 1 4, group 2 4, group 3 5, group 4 7, and the answer who has told respondent 1, okay, that is strongly disagree is 2, respondent who has told disagree is 3, neutral is 5, agree is 4, and strongly agree is 3. So this is how you create your pivoted table, right? Now, this pivoted table can be created for all the variables which you have selected. So you can do gender and user friendly, you can do gross income and user friendly. Okay, so any two variable you can create a cross table, right? So once you get a cross table, you can note down this cross table to do your chi-square analysis. Say your age, you had an option 1, 2, 3, and 4. And with respect to user friendly, you have an option 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, it's crossing. I will just move the cell here. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. So this is your age, right? And user friendly. And fine. Just note down. Okay. So one, 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 one. Okay, because you cannot do the analysis using pivoted table, so you have to note down the data from the pivoted table as a separate table, right? So 3 1. So like this, you have to note down it. Now, since there are only 17 respondents, so it's showing so much place as an empty. That is 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, and okay. So, but you cannot do chi-square test if your data has a 0 value. Okay, since there you have only 17 respondents, so you have a 0 value. You can do chi-square test only when you have a data which is greater than 0. So in this table, using this table, you cannot do it, but I will just create a dummy number for you, and I will show you how can you do a chi-square test, right? Say this is your table. Say I'll just put a number. Sorry. So let it be number. Okay, so this is user friendly and it's like respondent 1, 2, who has responded 2, responded 3, and who has responded 4, and who has responded 5. Okay, so this is how your chi-square table will look. Okay, this is how it will look when you have more than 500 respondents. So from here you can just do a grand total. All right, so right, so this is how your chi-square table is going to look once you have more respondents. Okay, right, I told you that every cell should have a value to do the chi-square test. Right, okay, okay, and if you do grand total, so that total will tally on both the sides. It includes this also, yeah. Right. So this 5 are your respondent data. This, okay, I have added one more. Okay. There is only 4 columns. Delete it. Cancel. I have wrongly added one more. Delete this. Okay. Yes, you can see here. So this is the data. 1, 2, 3, 4 is your age. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which you are seeing on the above the table, that talks about your user friendly data. So it's a tentative data which I have created for 351 respondent. As I have told you, you cannot do chi-square test if your cells are empty. Okay, so now if you have collected, suppose you have collected data from 351 respondent, your table, your cross table or your pivot table may look like this, right? Now how to do chi-square test when you have a data like this, right? If you remember, the formula for chi-square test is O. O is called your observed frequency. Next, E, expected frequency. Then you are going to do O minus E. Then you are going to do O minus E whole square. Then you are going to do O minus E whole square divided by 2. And when you do the summation, summation of O minus E whole square divided by 2, you are going to get the calculated value. So what is O? O is your observed frequency, which is inside the table. Say 23, 22, 1, 3. And E is what you are going to calculate. That is your expected frequency. That is your row total into column total divided by grand total. So if you take your E is equal to, apply the formula, equal to row total 60, okay, into column total divided by grand total 351. Enter. So that is your value of E, right? So once you got a E for all the data inside the table, you will go for O minus E whole square, then O minus E whole square divided by E. Sorry, I have wrongly written as 2. It is E, sorry. And you have to do the summation and you will get the value. And the value which you are getting is called as calculated value. Okay. And table value you will check from the table with degree of freedom. C minus 1 into R minus 1. C is number of columns and R is number of rows. So here you have 5 columns, 5 minus 1, and you have 4 rows. So you have 4 minus 1. So it is 4 and 3, 12. Your degree of freedom is 12. You have to check in chi-square table and you will get a table value, right? So if your calculated value is greater than table value, you are going to reject your null hypothesis. And if your calculated value is less than the table value, you are going to accept the null hypothesis. So this is how you study when you do a chi-square test practically. But for data analysis, the chi-square test is done through one more variable called as p-value, that is called as probability value. So you need not do apply this entire formula O minus E square. You need not do that. So just in one click, you can get the chi-square value. That is called as using p-value, where you can use a formula for chi-square which is equal to chi chi-square test press this, where you have to give actual range. Say this is the actual range since I have just filled only for E, comma, you have to give expected range, enter. Actually, it's only one value, so it's not taking 1 minute. We will just add a dummy value. Okay. Now we will do it. Select observed frequency, comma, expected frequency, close it, enter. So this is the value called as p-value. Okay, so using this p-value, what is this E represents? E represents your power value. Okay, since your data is a dummy data, you are not getting an exact value. But once you got a p-value, If your p-value is greater than 0.05, then your hypothesis is accepted. Okay, if your p-value is greater than 0.05, then your hypothesis is accepted. And if it is less than 0.05, then your hypothesis is rejected. Right? So this is all about chi-square test. So to do chi-square test, first thing you have to do a pivot table, and from pivot table you have to enter the data in the Excel, and all the data which is inside the table is considered as an observed frequency. Then you have to find expected frequency, that is by using a formula row total into column total divided by grand total. Okay, and you can apply the formula and do it. And whereas easy way of doing is by finding p-value. So where you have to apply directly chi-square formula, where you have to select the cell of observed frequency and then cell of expected frequency and press an enter. So you will get a p-value, and based upon the p-value you can accept or reject the hypothesis. Okay, so this is all basic things which you have to add in your project, right? So you have learned in this session how to do mean, how to do standard deviation, what is Garrett ranking, how can you do correlation, and how can you do your chi-square test. Hope you all understood. Thank you all.